By definition, a digital human, virtual human, or digital double is a virtual simulation of a human being. The concepts of the three are slightly different. Among them, the virtual human is the most well-known virtual internet celebrity, such as Axie, on the Douyin platform, while the digital human emphasizes the restoration of complex 3D human body models, and it pursues simulation even more in order to including skin coloring, hair texture, and motion trajectory to produce realistic effects. In terms of the concept of digital doubles, it aims to provide a replica of real human virtualization. In some celebrity versus, such products are already in the process of being launched. In the scope of public awareness, the three types of virtual digital products are becoming more and more familiar, but as early investors with a keen sense of smell, this investment track is losing its halo. For better presentation, the following three concepts are collectively referred to as virtual digital humans. 1. Less demand and fierce competition. The essence of competition on the digital human race track is both business and technical excellence. We have watched virtual anchors for a long time, and basically read all the ones on the market that cover this area. An early investor said to Shook Planet, "Some of the products here are very deep, let's chat." The biggest problem I discovered later was that there was no market for this thing in China. On the demand side, the investor's opinion is that the digital human anchor scene is not user-friendly. On the supply side, due to the low-quality content provided by digital humans/virtual humans, a large number of low-end, inefficient, low-quality and repetitive content further reduces user expectations, and also makes the public's perception of such products negative. Cycle. Users hope that the anchor can interact better, but as a digital person, its questions and answers are more selected from the knowledge base. In this way, the answers users get can only be repeated things, said an observer. I also agree with this logic. He has a deep observation of the e-commerce system digital person, and he is not very optimistic about the development of this type of digital person. I think the fact that the virtual human anchor entrance is hidden from the e-commerce is a good illustration of the problem, and the digital person has no right. Participating in public traffic distribution shows that this type of product is not good for traffic acquisition, at least not much. In a company known by Shook Planet, it tried to build a digital human product internally, but this matter ultimately fell through. An insider responded to Digital Planet, "Although we are slightly cheaper than Dharma Academy, Alibaba's research and development institution, it is still very expensive." According to this person, in the foreseeable future, digital humans will fall into the Red Sea competition. In front of a huge number of startups, the digital human projects of large companies will face price wars at any time, and the growth rate of market demand is far slower than that of manufacturers. The rate at which stock requirements are consumed. This market is washing users, do you understand? An investor commented straightforwardly. He has learned about the real operation of most projects and found extremely high user unsubscribes. In general, a high number of user unsubscribes indicates a significant inconsistency between product supply and demand. Although some projects have achieved good performance growth, in essence, what the digital human manufacturers are doing is cleaning out customers with digital human needs in the market one by one. It is difficult for investors to attribute the growth brought about by the behavior of washing users to the success of the business model. In the eyes of many of them, this may be more similar to business logic. In addition, companies that wash users will have a profound impact on potential users before mature commercially available products are introduced to the market. In the eyes of investors, this kind of behavior will push up the customer acquisition cost of companies entering the industry in the future, and even overdraw the reputation of the industry. 2. Lack of closed-loop logic. The lack of closed-loop logic is a factor that is particularly worrying for early investors. In the field of TOC, the logic of burning another Hatsune Miku is not very smooth. I think this is not just a matter of technology. In fact, It is a test of the company's entertainment genes, especially its operational genes, said an investor. For this kind of thing, it doesn't make sense to be a digital human. In the eyes of this investor, today's Hatsune Miku-like projects have become homogeneous. In the development of digital human offline scenarios, many projects have not thought of countermeasures. If traditional people obviously rely on movies, TV dramas and advertisements to make money, then what do digital people rely on? This question is worth thinking about. An interesting tidbit is that investors are also keen to discuss the CP incident of Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo, but they believe that the current internet celebrity management routine will not work if it is placed among digital people. On the to-be side, it is another situation. Among the projects that Digital Planet understands, some companies are using digital humans to replace the lobby managers in the lobby of banks, and some projects have developed metaverses such as virtual mayors, a type of government and enterprise digitalization projects, such as providing digital human large screens, project. But in general, such projects burn money or eat resources, and investors still have concerns about the growth of the project. In recent years, the money-burning model based on subsidizing users has been sentenced to death, and the scalability of resource-based projects has always been questioned. Usually, resource-based projects are not within the reach of growth-seeking investors. For example, in many projects focusing on bank outlets, the situation of eating resources is more serious. A supplier's products may enter some banks in a certain place, but in another area, the product will encounter great resistance in the process of marketing. There are also those that combine digital humans with going to sea. We have seen some overseas virtual people on TikTok. An investor revealed, it is not a big problem to let digital people sell products in English or Thai, but the problem is whether the team understands the demands of local businesses and local people. Shopping preferences. The investor believes that digital people are just a form of overseas trade, and the essence of foreign trade competition has not changed because of digital people. At least for now, judging from the experience accumulated in the domestic top anchor industry, the core competitiveness of the industry is still locked in the two ends of product selection and traffic acquisition. There is another reason why early investors are discouraged, that is, the business model of the overseas scene is much more difficult in due diligence than domestic projects. 03 Looking for more Jasper AI. After being dazzled by the new concept, investors began to calm down after the bustle. At the extreme point, I think all businesses should reduce costs and increase efficiency, but digital people have not yet reached this stage, replied a practitioner in an investment institution. Many investors want to seek Jasper AI in China. Although Jasper AI does not belong to the digital human track, for investors, this reflects a trend that its eyes have been drawn away from the form, and it has begun to focus on landing scenarios, professional capabilities and technical strength itself. It would be great if digital humans could be combined with specific scenarios, said a cross-border e-commerce practitioner. He hopes that that is, AI-generated content, can learn from Google's marketing scoring and ranking mechanism in order to respond to more and more SEO needs. Practitioners of an investment fund focusing on metaverse have also shown great interest in specialization. This fund is looking for metaverse products that are deeply integrated with marketing. An investor in this fund believes that the current customer acquiring marketing automation can be upgraded through and other methods. In general, to do Taobao, you need to know the operating rules of Taobao and have the ability to adjust the model. In this regard, you don't have to be a master of technology, but you must be able to create original models, he reflected on the Digital Planet. For investors, a clear market demand can help digital human companies avoid the embarrassment of looking for a nail with a hammer. For listed companies or strategic investors, companies with this attribute can better integrate with Party A's business. Business requirements are integrated so that they can be added to business scenarios more quickly. You need to find a field that is sufficiently vertically subdivided and build a moat to prevent what you can do and others can do. Otherwise, once the software is charged in the future, users will be lost, said a strategic investor. Early investors no longer look at the digital human track, but it does not mean that this track will be silent. In the future, strategic investment plus innovation may be the mainstream game in the digital human industry. In the understanding of Digital Planet, listed companies and large enterprises have shown full interest in it. Among them, some more traditional enterprises have been able to tailor digital human products for themselves. From the layout of listed companies, we can also see a clear industrial chain of R&D, production and operation. End. According to incomplete statistics, among more than 4,000 listed companies, more than 50 companies have deployed digital personnel or industrial chains. On the one hand, there are many participants in the enterprises that have been deeply involved in the digital economy in the past. On the other hand, non-digital economy enterprises have also shown their own thinking. To sum up, among the many participants, the combination of industry and technology is a major attraction, and those who hold the nail have already hit the hammer. However, this may make up for the short board, that innovative companies are busy looking for landing scenarios. From another perspective, the positive response of listed companies also seems to indicate the fact that the future of digital people is more suitable for industrial upgrading. Among them, getting the first pot of gold is not as easy as imagined.